Hey guys, what is up everybody? Welcome to a new video. In today's video, I want to briefly talk to you about things which I wish I knew before I started my businesses. Because when you're kind of entrepreneur and you start your projects one after another and you try to find what is working, you always do so many mistakes, and especially within the first business, especially if you don't have any previous background or experience even within the corporate jobs, you basically don't know, you kind of going from your heart, right? So that's how you feel and that's how you do a business, and sometimes it works, sometimes it's not. It's depends on people, depends on what you do and how lucky you are there. But there is some things which from my personal experience really good to know before you start anything, especially if you talk about e-commerce, especially if you talk about digital space. 7 rules, right, which from I would say I would highlight for myself. Number one is to test your ideas first. Before you start any business, before you start to invest into a business, before you're actually going full on with your idea, try to test it, because within the internet you have so many tools available to us. All of those tools are free, so you can create Instagram page, you can create Facebook page, Google page for your business and see what would be the reaction from the audience. Can you really get the leads? How much those leads are able to pay for your product or for your service or whatsoever. So basically test it, see how it goes, and once you have some kind of clear vision or clear confirmation that it kind of working, always test, with whatever you do, always test first and see what would be the response and reaction for that. Second one, it definitely works for me. For some people it does not actually make any difference, but for me it always works that to choose niche or product or area of expertise which you actually know or where you have a passion for, right? Because if you know something, it's my personal experience again, if you know something or if you're passionate about it, you will definitely first of all find people whom you can work with. Second, you will always understand your clients through, you will be able to see at your product or at your service through the eyes of your clients, and you will find the way how to convince them to use your service or buy your product. So if you have this passion for, or you have understanding of the niche or a product, that will be much better, especially if you have experience with it. For example, you've been in sports for a while and now you want to create a sport product or sport service. So that will help you to communicate with your clients, because you are a professional athlete and you know what you're doing, and you basically know what those athletes need and how they think, how they feel about such services or products. So you got the idea. So go where you have an expertise or vision or understanding, so where you don't be followed only by numbers and money. Again, works not for everyone. Some people can do it easily without even any knowledge of product or area or niche. But for me, again, this is kind of the case. Try to define what would be your competitive advantage. It can be competitive advantage with your product, it can be competitive advantage with your service, but you always need to understand how you stand out from competition, what you're gonna do different, what kind of extras you will offer to your clients comparing to others, or what would be your know-how with your product, right? Something which will make it a little bit better than anything else. Once you define your competitive advantage, you will be able to basically understand how to promote your product, how to promote your service, and you will be able to always answer a question why you are different, right? And once client understand why you are different, that can be actually the point when they convinced to spend money with you. Next one, don't go to small market or niches, right? For some people it works opposite. So some people see opportunity in small markets because they can be a big fish in a small pond. But again, my personal experience, it never worked for me well. So because when you're in a big market, you will always have a cut from this market. And once you get a cut from this market, you will be able to expand there, right? So you will be able to grow because you already have a little bit of the market. And then it's only your strategy, only your vision, how you will become better in what you do and get more and more and more clients, to your business or to your product. If you operate in a small market, you basically have two options: either succeed or not succeed. There is like no middle ground. Once people see that there is money, or people see there is a business can be done, they might start to enter this niche, and that's where you actually compete for a really small piece of market with many competitors. So it's not kind of scalable. So in my personal case, I always prefer to go with big market, because from the big market you're always able to at least have something and then grow from there. Next one might not work for everyone, but for me, again, my personal observation that it always works is that don't compete with the price. So find something else how you can make people buying from you or use you, right? Because when you compete with the price, it's never a winning strategy, because will be always someone else who's selling cheaper or who offers something cheaper. You always need to know, or always need to explain or see why you are better, why people should pay that price to you. Or if they're not willing to pay to you, it's just not your clients. But don't try to follow the client and sell cheaper. So in my case, I usually find some extra features, or I'm trying to improve the service in my projects where I'm able to provide more for the same price. For example, you charge someone for some service $100, but there is other players in the market who sell or offer the same service for $80, right? Instead of going 80 or 75 and try to beat the price, just find what you can do on top of what you're offering. It can be something really small, but something which feel the client, let's say, exclusive, right? Or make client feel better buying from you. It can be, for example, 24-hour support on your website. It can be, just great interface for your website or for your product or for your e-commerce store. Whatsoever, find the way to add a little bit more and make life of your clients easier, more fun, more cool, and just include it into the price, and don't try to compete with the price, because again, going down with the price never winning strategy. Next one, don't invest into your infrastructure in the beginning unless this infrastructure is your competitive advantage. That's what I mean. So sometimes people start to focus not on the products or on how to acquire the clients, or how to talk to the clients and see what clients like and what they don't like. They try to create all of those visuals. So they build like really cool marketing materials. They build really cool websites. And they think that, that's how we're going to present and people going to like it. But in reality, sometimes, people just look at different things and they choose your product because of something else. Once you know what is their pattern, right? What is their behavior? What they actually looked at while purchasing from you, you will be able to start building your assets, digital assets, and invest more. Sometimes people build, let's say, a mobile app to sell something. Then they realize that it's really hard to convince people to download application to their phone. So they have this beautiful mobile app, but people just don't download it, and they spend, like tens of thousands of dollars building this app. So before you do that, start from some simple things, right? So start simple, see if clients are responding to you, what is their feedback, and then from there, change the interface for your projects, change the UI for your project, change the way how you approach your clients. Never invest too much in the beginning unless you know that this thing will work or you see that it starts working. That's my idea. And the last one I think it's really important, and it's been my mistake for a really long time, is to don't try to do things by yourself. Always work with people, because teamwork is what makes things work. Sorry for such kind of expression. It's only that much you can do by yourself. But when you have people with you, first of all, it allows you to move faster. Secondly, you will always have different perspective or different view on what you're trying to build, and have more, more teammates, I would say, within your project, allow you to see it from the different angles and to create better product, better service, brainstorm together, find solutions together. Because when you're on your own, you probably sometimes can move in a direction which is irrelevant to what your clients want or where your product should develop to. And having other people on board actually allow you to eliminate mistakes or eliminate where you're not doing things right, adjust them, and move towards right direction. So always work with the people. Don't do things alone, even though you think that other people cannot do that or maybe they're not qualified. Doesn't matter. Find what they can do, what is their advantage comparing to you, and find what is your advantage comparing to them, and then just utilize those advantages for the good of the product or service which you're trying to build or create. That's kind of my take on typical mistakes which everyone makes, or most of us makes, when we start to build our businesses and start to work for ourselves. And I hope it's been helpful. If so, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share it, and leave your comment below this video, because it's really helps me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.